Let me take that off. Welcome, everyone, again to the Reinvent Your Life After 40 Virtual Summit. This is our final day, but a very special day. This summit has just been absolutely phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And it was our intention, our prayer that it blesses every single participant that either is able to join us live or is watching the replay. This is just a vision that we had for women over 40 or women on the cusp of 40 and beyond, that they maximize, rearrange, reinvent their lives so that they can get the lives that they deserve and desire. So again, I am Melina Crawford, and I'm going to introduce my sister, Felion Crawford, for her special presentation. But I just want you to know that we had you in mind. We continue to have you in mind. This thing was birthed from our own frustrations. I have about over 10 years of spiritual life coaching experience with me. So I know firsthand from my clients and from my own life what we as women need, what we as women deserve. And that's really what we poured into this summit, what the speakers have poured into this summit. So we really, really hope you have enjoyed it. Yes. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce my sister, turn it over to her, Felion Crawford. She's telling us all about how to have a comeback plan for your life after 40. This one is specifically geared to moms after 40. So if you are on the cusp of having an empty nest, or you still, you still have kids in the home, or if you just not a mother, but want to tune in to know how to have your comeback, this is all for you. All right, we love you. And here's Felion.
Thank you, sis. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to this amazing summit. Just like my sister has said, this has been nothing short of amazing. We've had so much fun. We're tired, but this has been an amazing week. It's been like, I never realized I get so much out of it. So I'm really happy to be here. So yes, what I'm going to talk to you all about today is having the comeback of your life after 40, because that's what happened to me. And I can't talk about this stuff enough. I'll talk to anyone that will ever listen about these basic practices that I've learned that not only have changed my life the first time, I'm going to tell you about the first time it happened that blew my mind, but over and over again, I continue to apply them, and they are nothing short of magic. So let me go ahead and get started. Let me share my screen. Okay, and percent. Okay, awesome. Can you all see my screen? Fine. Okay, wonderful. All right, so my business is called Press the Reset Button. It's all about resetting your life, and it came out of this love and passion and desire I have around making a reset, reinventing yourself, and having comebacks. So before I get into my presentation, let me tell you all that this is 10 years of work and a 5-day course lumped on into a 30 or 45-minute presentation. So I may be going fast in places, but just follow along, and the 5 steps that I'm going to share with you are going to radicalize your life, and they're easy to apply as long as you are intentional and consistent. All right. So the ultimate 5 steps to making the comeback of your life after 40. And specifically, I want to talk about making a comeback as a mom over 40. Us moms over 40, we have unique challenges that a lot of people don't talk about, and that, like, I've been working with moms and women for a long time. My sister's been a spiritual coach for a long time, and we've seen this thing in our own lives and with other women over and over again. Moms over 40 have this special experience of like, I was a mom, I poured everything into my child or children, I sacrificed everything, and they're older now, or maybe you're an empty nester, they're out of the house, and you find yourself like with a little bit of an identity crisis. Like, okay, I put so much into my kids, they're gone, they don't really need me as much anymore. Who am I, and how can I start living for myself? So when I talk about making a comeback, I'm going to talk specifically about things that moms over 40 find challenging, and some ways that we can sort of work to have comebacks as moms over 40. Okay, yeah, jaw-dropping 180s. I've had jaw-dropping 180s, and I'm going to show you how. All right, so let me start by telling you all a little bit about my story. So I found myself as a mom, a single mom, and I sort of had just like hit rock bottom in life. I had 2007, I think, I had saw The Secret. A friend of mine had like a party, and she knew I was like into magic. I've always been into like fantasy and fiction magic. And so she thought I would like it. So she invited me over. She had all friends there, and we watched The Secret. And I was just blown away. You know, this idea of you can create your own reality, you can create your own experience was just foreign and very like exciting to me. And I jumped all into the law of attraction. I bought like every book, took every course that I could afford. And I was just so excited to like watch my life change, you know, before my eyes. And oh, let me tell you that I curse. We can edit this out later, but I'm just being authentic. This is my hour. So I was fucking upset. I was like, I put everything into changing my life and nothing fucking happened. And I was floored. So I found myself thinking, there must be something else to this. Like I've studied so much, I've put so much into this. There must be something that I'm not getting. So fast forward a little bit, I end up moving to Hawaii, which sounds really nice, but no, I was miserable and super duper unhappy. I was in a depressive spiral. The great thing about it was that my backyard was the Pacific Ocean. So I had this beautiful view. I'm an ocean girl. So outside of swimming and enjoying nature, I was completely miserable. And I remember in my apartment complex, they had like, you know, that give a book, take a book nook kind of thing. And I remember I was walking by one day and this stack of them, maybe like 7 books, and they were all about astrology and spirituality and conscious things that I was really into. And I was like, oh, cool, I'm going to take these. But in my depressive spiral, I never end up opening them. I ended up leaving Hawaii, still depressed, moving back to the East Coast. And I remember I was so depressed, I didn't even unpack that box of books for 6 months. I lived out of a suitcase for 6 months. I was just couldn't get out of my depressive spiral. And so after about 6 months, I had some sort of like intuitive inkling to go open up this box of books. So I open up this box of books and I'm just thumbing through the book. And one book in particular, it didn't even have a cover. It just caught my eye. And I was like, what is this? It ended up being a book about sales, which is not something I would ever read. But in the book, they were talking about the power of the subconscious mind, which I thought was really weird. I don't know how, you know, where you ladies are on your journey, but to me, I was like, what does sales and the subconscious mind have anything to do with each other? But I was intrigued. And I started reading the book. And I remember I sat there in the middle of the floor amongst just this box. And I finished reading the book in one sitting. Like I sat there for 6 hours reading the book. And oh my God, it was like I knew something deep in my spirit. I was like, this is the key that I'm missing. I was like, I don't know why, I don't know how, but this is the key that I was missing. It's all about the subconscious mind. So I sat down there and I went through the book and I made a list of all the practical things. I'm all about practicality. We'll talk about that later. Like, what can I do? I made a list of all the practical things that I could do. And I said, okay, they say it takes 90 days to change your paradigm. And so I said, I'm going to do this for 90 days. All the other stuff I've been trying to do, I'm going to cut it all out. I'm just going to do these things I've listed out for 90 days, and I'm going to see if it works. So it worked. Like, to put it shortly, it worked like gangbusters. It was like someone had sprinkled magic fairy dust in my life, and my life zoomed forward. It was one of those as if by magic moments that I don't know if you guys have ever had something like that. You just never forget. You remember how you felt. It was nothing short of a miracle. So that's how I got started with the 5 steps that I'm going to share in this presentation. Okay, so my work, like I said, I love practicality. My background is in engineering, so I love practical stuff. I love the technical. I love the scientific. And up until reading this book, I really didn't like the rule, but I've learned to incorporate these two together. So all of my work is around that. As we get into these 5 steps, this is the basic thing that I want you to remember. Basic tenet of your work in creating a comeback is that life is a mirror. So your life begins with the energy inside it. When the energy inside your life shifts, life will shift and it'll show you something different. If you want your life to change, you have to change the energy behind your life. Life is just a mirror. It's just showing you it's just reflecting to you what you're holding within. We'll talk more about that. Okay, another thing about my work is speed. I'm all about how can I get there the fastest. So these things that I'm about to show you, the things that I'm about to tell you, they're all about how to have a comeback the fastest. You could go around, Robin Hood's barn and take months and years like I did to get to this point. But if you follow the steps that I'm going to share with you, you learn how to do this quickly. It doesn't have to take 90 days. This is actually a 5-day course. You will learn how to do this with speed, which is important. Okay, so you as a mom or just a woman over 40, you're looking for a second life. You're looking for a second life because there's something in your experience. There's some lack of experience or people or money or time that you're experiencing that you want to shift. Okay, so to do that, I want you to first grasp these fundamentals. The one is, at the base, if you want a new life, you need a new energy. 2, you are currently living at some default setting of energy. I like to think of it like a thermostat, right? If you're living at 64 degrees, you're gonna have to think of it like, okay, the life that I want is at 78 degrees. So it's just like that. Okay, so you're living at some default setting of energy. And 3, to change, you're gonna have to upgrade that energy to a higher level and learn how to feel and vibrate on a higher level. So you're gonna have to learn to upgrade your 64 setting to a 78 setting. Okay, this is one of those things that several years ago I would have been like, this is stupid, but it's like the effing truth, I promise you. The universe is asking, it's saying, show me your new vibration and I will show you miracles. This is a truth in my life that I live by and it absolutely works. You just know how to work it. You just got to know how to work it. Okay. And the only way out is in. If you're trying to get out of an old experience, if you're trying to get out of an old life, if you're trying to get it out of an old way with men or anything, the only way through is in. And that's the interior, your energy, your beliefs, your habits, your paradigm. We'll talk more about this. Okay. Second thing, if you remember anything out of this presentation that I want you to remember, if you want to change your life in a powerful way, not just like some stupid, like, oh, I feel better or whatever. If you want to make huge changes in your life and if you want to do them quickly, you're going to have to play a big subconscious game. You're going to have to go all in with your subconscious. And don't worry, these 5 steps are going to show you how. Your subconscious mind is where all of your power lies. It's like 95% of your power as a human being on this planet lies in your subconscious mind. And it's not too hard to fix it. Like I said, you just have to know what to do and do it consistently. All right, to begin, you need to get selfish. This is for moms over 40. This is for women over 40. We usually have a hard time with making time for ourselves, making boundaries, and creating sacred space that's just for us where nobody else is allowed to enter. I want you to start by getting selfish, okay? I could get into this more, but again, I know I don't have much time, so I'm gonna keep. All right, so you're gonna start by stopping, okay? You're gonna start by stopping. All right. A lot of us who are looking for the second life have gone through something called the dark night of the soul. And that's when life sources start beating you on the head saying, this shit isn't working for you. And are you going to change or not? Okay. A lot of you can probably resonate with that experience. Maybe there's something really bad that happens, a really bad breakup. Mine was a really bad breakup, the second comeback that I made. It's when you face this dark night of the soul, and you want to build that second life, it's time to turn inward and face the self. Okay, that's your first thing. So you're going to start by stopping, and you're going to go into facing the self. Okay. All right. So in doing this, these are some of the things you're going to start to work on. Stop ignoring your feelings, exploring your real feelings, getting healed, getting whole. What do I need to see that I overlooked? As moms, as women over 40, we have a terrible habit of getting so busy and distracted in our lives, with our kids, with our families, with our careers, with our jobs, that we, just like a lot of speakers have said, we get messages from our lives that are telling us that things are out of order, or things need to change, or you need to pay attention to this, and we end up just ignoring those signals. So as you get to wanting to make a big comeback in your life, you need to start listening to those messages that you've probably been ignoring. Okay. All right, so what does it really take to change your life? Not the superficial moves, like I said, but some deep, deep changes, like the jaw-dropping 180s. What does it take to make that happen? It's an inside-out job. You probably have heard you cannot put new wine into old wineskins. You cannot move forward with old stuff. I'm going to skip through these a bit. Your issue is stuck in stagnant energy. So step number one to making a huge comeback in your life is clearing stuck and stagnant energy. Stuck and stagnant energy, like the things I was just talking about, old trauma, old wounds, messages that the universe is trying to get across to you, some places that your blind spots you're having in life, old unhealed stuff. It is like cement shoes to your life. If you think of, trying to swim in the ocean with cement shoes, that's exactly what's happening in your life if you have this stuck and stagnant energy going on. So step number one is to clear the way. I'm going to clear stuck and stagnant energy. Okay, so how do we clear this energy? What is the fastest way? What is the most bang for your buck way? And also, I like simplicity. What is the most simple way? Most people, like I mentioned this before, they focus on external actions, external tools. They may say, I'm going to lose weight. They may say, I'm going to get a new hairstyle. I'm going to get a haircut, or I'm going to get a new man, or I'm going to get a new wardrobe. Those things have their place. They definitely do. They're important, but never before the internal work. The internal work is the fire where true transformation begins. Okay, so fixing stuck energy, we're going to talk about how, like I said, it makes room for your good and it clears the path for new things to enter. So how do we do it? You're going to start with shadow. This is a big thing. We talk about shadow work. A whole course could be around shadow work, but to get started on making a huge comeback in your life, the comeback of your life, you just need to get started on this path. So the shadow work, a lot of people always say, well, what does that mean? What does it mean when people say you got to do the work or you need to start doing your shadow work? This means diving into the deep soul work, blind spots, areas of deep hurt and pain, deep subconscious things buried that you may or may not be aware of. I have some examples. We talked about that. 90% of our issues stem from the stuck energy and shadow, this junk and baggage. Causes havoc. Okay, here's some examples. Like I said, trauma, PTSD, PTSS, subconscious patterns, childhood issues, mother and father wounds, secrets. Things that you won't tell anyone, things that you won't tell yourself even, things you won't admit to, you're not copying to, unprocessed life experience, unresolved issues, your own toxicity, including the toxicity of others that you allow to enter into your space. Triggers are really great. People avoid triggers, but they're kind of amazing because triggers show you where your subconscious junk lies. So that's a good thing to pay attention to. What is deeply uncomfortable to your soul, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, some common blocked emotions that make up your stuck energy: fear, worry, anxiety, limitations, saying I can't, unworthiness, undeservedness, saying you're not good enough. Vices, I think it's important to talk about vices when you think about clearing your stuck energy. Vices are the ways that we use to, like when we're feeling empty, they're the ways that we use to get fulfillment out of life and bypass our stuck energy. So it's important to look at, like, what are your vices? Are you overeating, smoking, etc.? It's a way for you to bypass your stuck energy. If you dig there, you can uncover some good stuff. Okay, this is a really great metaphor that I love to talk about when it comes to talking about clearing stuck and stagnant energy. The hose. Okay, if you can think of a hose, a really nice hose, brand new, just out of Home Depot, just unrolled it and everything. Think about hooking that up to your water spout in your backyard and spraying water, right? Like easy peasy. You just roll it. It just sprays this beautiful spray, no problems. The problem is that when we have stuck and stagnant energy, it causes holes and kinks in our hose. So if you think about that hose as being the mechanism that you allow the energy within you to flow towards a destination, like if you're trying to manifest a comeback or a new life or a new man, the way that you're going to do that, you're going to aim that energy towards that destination. If you have stuck energy, your hose is effed up. It has kinks and holes. Imagine having that kind of a hose and pouring water through it. What happens? It flails around. It's like a trickle comes out at the end. It just does not accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. That's what we're trying to do. That's what's happening to us when we're trying to accomplish a goal with stuck energy in the way. Ain't gonna happen. That's probably why. I don't know if a lot of you are in or were or are into the law of attraction like I was, but I told you in the beginning of my story, I was like, I'm putting in so much freaking work. Like, why is nothing happening? It was because I was not working with this subconscious energy, and it was because my hose was all effed up. So that's a great metaphor. All right, now let's talk about how to release stuck energy. Melina, I'm going to ask you, because this is covering up my clock. Give me a time check.
Or
Just tell me how many minutes I've left.
40, unless, well, 40 to the hour, unless you want to stop for questions.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, so how to release stuck energy. Like I said, I like practical. I love the woo-woo stuff. I love energy work because it works. But I need to know, how do I do that? You're telling me to change my paradigm? You're telling me how to release my stuck energy? Like, how the F do I do that? So I'm all into practical steps. So these are some practical steps that you can do on your own. You don't have to have a coach. You don't have to do a course. You can do these on your own. So number one, always number one is start with a journal. Every lady out there, you need to have a journal. It can be a dollar store journal, something. You need to be able to write your stuff down. The way journaling is like a communication with our inner self. It allows us to just be aware and to release so much faster, so much faster. So number one, you need a journal. Okay, second, I want you to a brain and heart dump. I want you to go think, what are all the thoughts flying around in here? Good, bad, ugly. And what are all the feelings and old stuff and things I'm excited about, things I'm looking forward to, things I'm scared about. What's in here? And you need to write it all down. Okay, leave no stone unturned. Leave no stone unturned. The problem that we have, humans have, especially American humans, is that we tend to avoid pain and go towards pleasure, right? That's a natural reaction. We tend to avoid pain and run towards pleasure. The problem with that is that the pain is the thing that we need to be looking into, because the pain holds the keys to get rid of it so we can step up into a new level. So when you do this brain and heart dump, I want you to open up into all of the pain that you may be feeling and not acknowledging. Okay, so just writing it down in your journal is a huge first step. Next, to release stuck energy, I call it feel it to heal it. Another problem with that pain is that we don't feel it. Okay, we avoid feelings. I don't know, this is a really big problem with men, but women, we do this really bad as well. When we go through something hard or difficult or traumatic, we bypass the trauma, we bypass the feelings, and we try not to feel because it hurts, right? It's scary. When actually, in actuality, what we need to be doing is feeling it, because when we feel things, you can't really see our heart chakra, like a heart chakra. When we feel things, we move energy through our heart chakra and we release it. So if you never feel something, then energy is just stuck in your heart chakra. It's stuck in your aura, and it's going to cause havoc. It's more cement shoes, and you're not going to have a new life. You're going to have, Groundhog Day. I don't know if you guys know that old movie. You're just going to wake up to the same day over and over again until you release this stuff. Okay. Another nice thing you can do is a burn ritual. All you have to do is write down all the stuff you want to release. Tear it up into little pieces, go out and burn it. It's like, it seems really simple, but your subconscious mind really gets that like feeling of like, oh, okay, we're letting some stuff go. It helps clear the way. There are also some other ways like EFT, emotional freedom technique, and many others, which I will definitely be emailing you about. Okay. So number one, to making a comeback, you need to clear and release stuck and stagnant energy. And those are some ways. Okay. I'm going to skip by this stuff because we do not have enough time to get to it. Okay, so basically hit a healing modality that helps you release the energy. For some of you, maybe it's therapy for you. Some of you, maybe it's a coach. Whatever helps you release the energy, just focus on releasing the energy. An important idea that until you know, you don't know, is that if you're trying to create something new, you have to clear the old. A lot of us try to put, oh, I'm going to manifest this and this on top of same old shit. You have to remove the stuff, the crap, the nasty stuff, the stuck and stagnant energy first before you can even create space for something new. Okay, that's a big thing that I learned on my journey. All right, I'm not doing too bad, y'all. Okay, I'm glad. My sister was like, "You're gonna go over." I was like, "I'm gonna try not to." All right, step number 2 to create the comeback of your life after 40 is clean the energy in your life and home. And I specifically say home. I call this COD, cleaning, organizing, and decluttering, which some of you will groan about. And me and Melina are Virgos. I love that. So basically, let me talk to you about how clutter affects your life. And let's see how cleaning, organizing, and decluttering completely changes your energy field and allows you to make a comeback. All right, so clutter, and we're going to talk, this doesn't just mean, clothes and shoes and papers all over the place. It's also emotional clutter, financial clutter, but clutter overall, it causes us to hemorrhage energy. And if you think about yourself as like a field, right? You want high energy in the field to create a high life. And if you have holes in your field, what's going to happen? Can you create? Absolutely not. So if you find yourself always being assaulted by whatever kind of clutter it is, you're always going to be hemorrhaging energy, and you're never going to have enough energy to create the life that you want. Okay. So clutter stops energy flow. It causes stagnant energy. And when your energy is stagnant, what happens, ladies? Your life is not moving. When your energy is stagnant, your life is not moving. So when you clean up your immediate environment, you feel liberated, free, light, tuned in higher vibration. You guys have probably already experienced this a million times. Like, think about when you get a box of clothes to the Salvation Army. How do you feel? You feel liberated, right? When you clean up your house, you feel liberated. When you have a maid come over and clean up your house, you feel liberated. That's because all of that stuck and stagnant energy is now out of your field, and you are just a higher frequency, higher vibrating being, and your life reflects that. Okay. So the practical work for this step number 2 is what I call the big 5. What I want you guys to do is spend 5 minutes in each one of these 5 areas, decluttering the space. Obviously, this is at minimum. The more work, effort, and intentionality you put into decluttering your space, again, that's not just shoes and toys, that's also finances, that's also emotions, that's also past lovers, whatever. The more work you put into this step, the more space you create for the new. But at minimum, as a practical step, I want you guys to take 5 minutes cleaning out your wallet. This is a big impact on your money. Take 5 minutes cleaning out your car. Your car is an extension of your personal space. Take 5 minutes cleaning out your kitchen, especially if you have weight issues or food is an issue for you. Take 5 minutes cleaning up your kitchen. Take 5 minutes cleaning up your bedroom, especially your bed. Your bedroom and especially your bed is a keystone of your personal energy. And so the tidier and more beautiful and more peaceful you keep your bed and bedroom, the more beautiful your energy will flow. Okay. And lastly, related to career, let's take 5 minutes, clean up your desk and workspace. Cool. Okay. So it doesn't just stop with your immediate environment. When we talk about cleaning up your energy, cleaning, organizing, and decluttering, personal finances, anything having to do with legal, we attach a lot, and let me add that to divorce, death, legal, will, life insurance. We as humans attach a lot of negative energy to anything legal related, taxes, divorces, or death. So spend some time working on these areas. I put at the bottom, it's really worth the money to pay someone to do this. It's well worth your time and your money. Okay, so more invisible clutter, things that are left unsaid. A lot of us have things that need to be said that's it's like bouncing around our energy field, and it needs to get out so it can create new life for you. And we don't do it because we're scared. Okay, we have to get over those fears and create space for new things to come in. Vices, things that are overdue. I talked about shadow work, unfinished business. And I also wrote in here things that need to be bought. Like it's not only things that need to go. Sometimes it's things you need to bring in, and like maybe you're just being cheap with yourself, like for me, I just bought a new pair of really cute sneakers because I just moved to a place that the walking is amazing. And I was like putting it off, and I was like, what am I doing? Sometimes you need to buy things for yourselves, especially as a mom over 40. I find that that's a big one. Okay, like I said, money here is well spent. I'm going to skip over these and go to step 3. I'm proud of myself. I'm doing good with the time. Okay, step number 3, to create the comeback of your life after 40. Raise your feminine frequency. This is Melina's jam, but it's also my jam. Yeah. So we it's our jam because it works. Okay. Again, I don't know who's out there, but if you have been on your spiritual journey for a while, you at some point will have realized that, as I raised my feminine frequency, as I dove into my feminine energy, shit just kind of started to get amazing. So as a woman, whether you are straight or not, your feminine power is everything. We don't realize how much it goes out in the world and works for us. I'm going to talk about raising your feminine frequency, but one thing I'm going to give you a lot of ways to raise it, but one thing is to remember is just to be aware of how important it is. Right, Melina?
Can I add one thing?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so we know that there is a lot of talk, like in the coaching space and the coaching industry, about feminine energy, feminine power. We are not talking about wearing pink frilly dresses and smelling amazing with perfumes. That is part of femininity, feminine power, but we're talking about tapping into your real feminine power. So I just want to make that clear.
Yes, important. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what kills feminine energy. I'm going to be really quick with this. Stress, overwhelm, being overworked, strain, nervous tension. How many things are very indicative of life as a mom over 40, by the way, right? A lot of these things kind of just come with being a mom, especially being a mom over 40. But stress, overwhelm, overwork, not having enough ease, peace, joy, and money in your life kills your feminine energy. And particularly as a mother, the truths of motherhood. These are some like truths that I hate. There are some great truths about motherhood, but these are ones that I don't like. As a mom, it's so easy to get left behind, to leave yourself behind, and to lose your vitality as a mom. Okay, I think a lot of you who are moms can resonate with that. It's so easy to sacrifice to your kids or to your husband or to whatever. It's so easy to leave yourself behind. It's just so easy to do it unless you like intentionally make a point of not doing it. It's so easy to do it. Homemaking is important and you need time to do that. But a lot of women don't have time. Okay, it's a problem. You also must make time for your children. You can't ignore them. So in all of the work as a mom, it's really easy to let your feminine energy just sort of fade away. Okay, so just keep that in mind. All right, so let's get to the fun part. What restores, feeds, and grows your feminine energy? Let's talk about some practical stuff. Again, I am throwing a 5-day course at you in 30, 45 minutes. So I'm just going to throw stuff at you. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let us know. I'm just going to give you a lot of stuff, ways that you can practically restore, feed, and grow your feminine energy. All right, time off. Take some time off. Okay, you need rest. You need sleep. Take some time off. It's so easy to say that I'm going to do that. And what happens? The phone rings. I get up. I'm going to make a meal for somebody. My friend needed me. It's so easy to let that promise to yourself become not so important. Okay, creating sanctuary. And my note here, easiest way to create sanctuary, start with your bed. Make your bed every day. Get a nice, pretty comforter and make it pretty in your room. That's a wonderful way to start creating sanctuary. Another way to restore feminine energy is by walking. A lot of women have this obsession with hard, I like dance, but like hard, workouts. Walking is the most gentle, most beautiful way to restore feminine energy. It allows you to release things that need to go, and it just sort of just feeds the gentle, sweet feminine energy within. Okay, I'm not going to go over all of these. Beauty products, Korean spa, that's what I should have said. Creams, soaps, lotions, and baths, candles, and a healthy diet at the bottom. I don't know why I put that at the bottom. But a healthy diet. When I say healthy diet, I don't just mean food. Food is important, but I mean, what are you watching? What are you consuming? Are you listening to gossip? Are you consuming shitty social media and TV shows? If you have a healthy diet that feeds beautiful feminine energy, it's going to reflect in your life. And on your face, but that's another talk. It shows up on your face. Another talk, anyway. Okay, interesting. This is a wonderful way to upgrade your feminine energy. You seriously feed your subconscious feminine energy when you look your best every day. And I put a note here, do it just for you. It's like there's something about, your subconscious mind is always watching, right? When you're dressing your best and it knows like, but this is for me. There's like some magic alchemy that happens where you change. I'm here to tell you, like, it's kind of amazing. I'm going to talk in a little bit about one of my secrets to feeding my feminine energy is to wear cute panties every day. And again, for me to know, and no one else needs to know. So that's another great tip. All right. So dress it up to the level that makes you feel good. It's about you. It's not about anybody else. Anybody else. It's about you. And P power. You know what I'm saying here. Power. Sorry. I know someone out there like, oh my God. But the power of energy. A couple of other summit people have talked about how important it is to maintain a tight pelvic floor. Okay. I'll say this again, the stronger your pelvic floor, the higher your feminine frequency, the more youthfulness you will present, and the stronger your feminine energy. Okay, that's another talk, but just trust me on that and go back and watch Helen or Spirit Helena. They'll talk about that. Okay, learn to value the feminine. A lot of us don't value it. I think that I'm liking a lot of this talks about femininity and stuff because it's finally getting to a place where we value the feminine. Like just my existence as a woman brings something to the space. It's not about what I bring to the table. Learn to see yourself as so beautiful and a prize just because you bring that energy. Okay. Also, learn to cultivate self-compassion, self-acceptance, and self-soothing. If you need some help with this, we're going to have presenting you something in a little bit, but the more that you learn to accept yourself, the better. Okay, it's a hard lesson that it takes a lot of us to learn. You are so amazing just as you are. And it sounds like platitudes to a lot of you, but it's something that you can cultivate. Just like you can learn to brush your teeth, just like you can learn to ride a bicycle, you can learn to accept yourself. I'm here to tell you. Okay, this one real quick. Cultivate a relationship with the divine masculine, and you can think of this as God or divine energy. A lot of us walk through the world, especially if we've had like hard childhoods. We walk through the world feeling like we have no protection. You know what I mean? If you can learn to realize that there's some energy, however you choose to like have the God of your own understanding, there's some energy around us that's like always working for us. It's always looking out for us. It always wants us to have the very best. If you can cultivate this idea in your head, again, it's just like brushing your teeth. It's just like learning how to ride a bike. You can learn to cultivate this energy. You just have to learn it. You will have a much better experience with not only your fear and anxiety and worry, those things start to fade away, but your relationship with men, romantic and platonic, will change. Again, another talk, but cool. Your essence. Okay, what is your essence? Your essence is, if you ask a friend that loves you to explain you, they're going to explain your essence. The funny thing about essence is it's like something we're not even aware of. It's usually other people can see it. I need you to realize that you have an essence, and that essence is so beautiful and it's so attractive about you. A lot of women walk around with this idea of like taking themselves at face value with just what they see in the mirror and not realizing that there's this whole aura that walks with them that's so beautiful that their friends, their lovers, their families can see. And they're like, why? Like that's why people look at you and you're like, I don't like myself, whatever. They're like, why? It's because they're seeing your essence. And part of upgrading your feminine energy is learning to see your essence as well. Again, it's a habit. You can learn to do it. You just have to do it with consistency and you'll get there. And let me go quickly. Raising your feminine energy. Get into what you love. What do you love? A lot of women, especially moms before, we don't know what we love. What are you into? What lights you on fire? This is a journey. Take some time to get into, find out, and discover what you love. Nurture your passions. Dance, okay, another talk, but get into dance. It's like the best, and you can get in shape. And cultivate pleasure. Melina, this is her jam too. Cultivating pleasure. What brings you pleasure? Do you know? Okay. All right. Steps to a great self-image. Again, that's a talk for another day, but basically see yourself as God sees you. Again, it takes practice, but you can do it. I'm living proof. All right. I'm doing good. Okay, step number 4 to having the comeback of your life after 40 is to align with what you want. Basically, step number 1 was clear stuck and stagnant energy. Step number 2 was COD, cleaning, organizing, and decluttering. Step number 3 was my God, somebody tell me what. Oh, raising your feminine essence. Step numbers 1, 2, and 3 basically clear stuff out, right? It's like removing stuff, getting stuff out of the way. When we get into step 4, this is when we start to actually call in something new to that beautiful space that we've created. Okay, so by this point in this comeback journey, you have created, you can just think of it like you had a house and your house was full of broken furniture and old food and stuff, and someone came in and just carted all that stuff out, fixed up the windows, painted, gave it a new floor. Now you have this beautiful new house and you can move new furniture in. So how do we move new furniture in? This is all around aligning to what you want, and I have some awesome practical steps to get you there. All right, so I said you must first empty the cup to make room for something new. We spent the time clearing the way. Now let's invite the new in. How do we do that? I put a note here to remind you, ladies, you're not only here to be a creation of God, you're here to be a creator. Okay, so we're going to start to actually step into how do I create? Like, how do I create as creator? Depending on the God of your own understanding, whatever it is, you are put on this planet to create, not just receive, but to create your own stuff. So this is how we're going to create. I'm gonna go through this. Okay. Before I tell you the steps, I want you to remember the Tesla quote that I actually skipped over, but it's a perfect time to talk about it. Nikola Tesla, one of my favorite, he's dead now, but one of my favorite human beings, he said, if you want something, if you want a new reality, if you want to come back, if you want a brand new fucking experience on earth, learn to match the frequency of what you want. When you can tune the energy in your body to that frequency, that life becomes your reality. Okay? Don DePani also talks about this. So to bring in the new, first, it must be clearly defined. A lot of us say, oh, I want a new life. I want to have a comeback. But what does that look like? You know, there are like 16 different ways that could look for you. When you have clarity in this area, it's like a wide open space versus a highway, okay? The clearer you are about what it is you actually want to bring in, the more successful you will be in this area. All right, so to align with the new, number 1, determine your ideal self in life, okay? So if you're trying to make a huge comeback in life, what is it gonna look like, okay? Suss out the feelings, the thoughts, neighbors, suss out what are the feelings, what are the thoughts, what is the state, what are the actions of my ideal self, okay? Spend a lot of time working on this so you can figure out what it might look like. Then list them, actually write them down, list them. Be exhaustive, like this is your life, you know, this is your fucking chance for you. What are the feelings of the new me and the new life? What are the experience? What are the, get into your senses, like what are the smells? What are the sounds? Like for me, like when I think about my new life, you know, I talked about this a little bit before, but one of my big changes in life, I wanted to get a great relationship and I wanted to move back to the Bay Area where my heart is. So I would think about like the sights of the bay and the bridge and the smell of the coffee shops, you know, in my apartment in the morning. What are all those things? Take some time to list them. I know I'm like talking. I know, but I love this stuff. Y'all, this is my jam. I just like go crazy about this. So number 2, list out what your new life is going to look like. Then this is one of my secret jams. My sister, if you know me, if you have issue, I always talk about this because it works. You're going to make something called the nightly recording. What you're going to do, you're going to take that list you made in the last step and you're going to record it. Almost all phones come with a recorder on your phone, and you're going to take that list in present tense, and you're just going to record all the things about your new life, and you're going to play that at night with headphones for a minimum of 21 days.
Can I say something?
Yes, you can.
The power of the I am, you want to?
Oh yeah. So when you declare I am, it's saying, it's literally the power to create. It's like, I don't know if you guys know this. I think it's a Bible quote, the power of life and death is in the tongue. I believe that's how it goes. It's around this idea of I am. When you declare I am, you are speaking that into existence for yourself. So the reason that we do this at night is because when you're sleeping, your subconscious mind has like an open doorway. Okay, usually, you know, when we're moving throughout the day, we're working, we're cooking, whatever, our subconscious mind is very hard to access. But when you go to sleep, it's like it has an open door, and it's like you can whisper new truths in it that become reality with time. The great thing about human beings is that we can change our subconscious mind. All we need is consistency. All we need is repetition.
Yeah. So everything in present tense, because you already have it, you are just simply
Now,
stating the truth and calling it into physical experience. And so there's an app called the Parrot app. You can download that after this talk.
yes.
And the Parrot app will record continuously. You can actually, it's not as effective as nighttime, but you can also use it during the day on a very low volume and just let your mind receive it. And start getting into the feeling of having it. You know that you have the power. You say, you declare what you're going to experience and get into that feeling of authority. And I'll stop interrupting.
No, thank you. Actually, I'm going to talk about feeling now. That's actually part of it in a moment. All right. So your nightly recording, minimum of 21 days. Okay. It takes 21 days to establish a new habit. We want to definitely use the power of consistency and repetition in our work. It's very, very important. Okay. Next step is create a Pinterest board. Okay. I love, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. It does not stop with manifestation. Create a Pinterest board that represents your new life. Vivid detail. Let me talk about vivid and deep feeling. So my sister was just talking about feeling. That energy that you're creating, you basically, you know, you start with this container, you're going to clear some stuff out, and you're going to create a whole new container. Like I said in the beginning, life is just a mirror. If you change the energy behind your life experience will change. But the way that changes is that energy must be practice. Okay, consistency, repetition. It must be magnified, practice, duplicated. You have to do this over and over again. And the energy needs to be vivid and with deep feeling. So you just can't go, okay, I'm gonna put my nightly recording on and yeah, I have a new life. This is great. Practice over time. What do the feelings feel like? Get into the feeling. Get into what would it, like my sister said, what would it be like to have this right now? Again, this is it takes practice, but just like riding a bike, you will get there as long as you're intentional and you keep going. I like to, this is another metaphor that I love metaphors. They're just useful, helping our brain imagine things. The two targets. Okay. If you guys ever have gone to the carnival, right? You know, those, like, they have those guns and you shoot water at different targets. You guys know what I'm talking about? Think of it like two targets when you're trying to create a new life for yourself, a comeback for yourself. You have one target representing the old life, the old beliefs, the old energy, the old thoughts, the old feelings, right? And then you have this new target that we're going for. It's the comeback. What does that mean? Like, you know, it's a new relationship, more money, living in a new place, looking prettier. You can manifest prettier looks. Another talk from the day. But anyway, think about like the other target. You can always think in your life with your hose. Am I aiming my hose at this target or this target? If you can keep that metaphor in mind over your day, over your week, over your 21 days, always be conscious, like which target am I trying to hit? It's going to help you create the energy that's needed to move you into the comeback that you're looking for faster. Okay. I'm going to talk about that. I don't have time to get into this, ladies, but if you want these slides, just ask me. Okay, I just want to say this real quick, aligning with the possibility that exists. I have studied manifestation and energy and spirituality for, it's been like 15 years. I would consider like this is my thing. You do not have to take 15 years to just understand this simple fact that there are many possibilities that exist for you, and you just need to align with it. Don't depend it. I don't know. Can you guys see my cursor? I don't know. Don't make what you're trying to get just depending on what you can see, okay, or what you've seen before. There's so much life that's available to you that you've never fucking seen before, that no one in your life, no one in your family, no one of your friends has ever experienced. Don't limit your experience, what you think you can have, to what you see. There's so much more out there. And I say that not because I'm like throwing platitudes at y'all. I'm saying this because this has been my life. Like, I know it. My sister will tell you, like, I've worked miracles that I never thought that I could because I dared to believe. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Sorry, guys. Okay, now let's talk really quickly. This is your spirit. This is going to be the beginning of your spiritual practice. Okay, nightly recordings at night for a minimum of 21 days. And what I want you to do is when you wake up in the morning, I want you to take your Pinterest board and look at it and review it with deep feeling and vividness. Okay, so at minimum, nighttime recording in the morning, review your Pinterest board with deep feeling and vividness. Okay, we'll talk about more things to add to your routine, but that's the basics of a very sweet spiritual practice that will give you everything I'm here to tell you. Okay. Speaking of routines, step number 5. How many more minutes do I have?
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, good. I'll get through this. Okay, step number 5. How do we put all the, like, this is a lot of stuff, right? It's a lot of pieces. How do we put it all together and make it stick? Remember, I'm all about practicality. How can I make this work? What do I need to do? And that said, chaos ends where routines begin. This is a Chinese character all about the intersection of chaos and opportunity. So if you find yourself, like maybe you've gone through a dark night of the soul, or like you came to the summit because you're like, I'm a mom over 40, or I'm a woman over 40, and my life is it's not clicking. And I want to reinvent myself. Wherever you find that place, it's where opportunity begins. And where that opportunity begins is with routines. Hello, Virgo. Hello, how you doing? Routines, routines, routines. Okay, so these are the 3 things that will allow you to put it all together and make it stick. That is routines, the use of a calendar, preferably on your phone, and schedules. Okay, people don't like these things, but if you want to have momentum, if you want to have the comeback of your life after 40, you need to get into routines, calendars, and schedule. These are the things that allow the rubber to meet the road and you to develop momentum. Okay, I'm here to tell you. So let's talk about those. Yeah, we're alchemists looking to recover our lives all that we could be. And we do that through this, establishing a new normal. A new normal is established through a new routine. Okay, so we've done all this work. Steps 1, 2, 3, 4 have given us a new frequency. And the way that we ground this frequency into reality, 3D reality on this earth, is through a new routine. Okay, new life starts with new energy plus a new routine. I say it all over again. Sorry, 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 not sorry at all. A new routine. Okay, and this is the beginning. Wear your sexy panties each and every day of your life. That's part of your routine that will take you far. Okay, what else? Other parts of a routine. I talked about the basic routine of every night you do your subconscious recording. 21 days at a minimum with headphones on, and every morning you get up and review your Pinterest board with deep feeling and vividness. Other things that you incorporate into routine will be things like when you wake up in the morning, ladies, you need to drink at least 16 ounces of water every morning. That needs to be, a lot of us neglect ourselves with water. Okay, that's a wonderful way to begin. Another thing that I already gave you is when you wake up in the morning, make your bed. You will start to feel like a goddess as you give yourself that sweet energy. Some other things you may be including, it's like a walk every day. I talked to you about how important and feminine a walk is. Maybe you do a walk at lunchtime or a walk every morning. But those are some basic things to have as a routine. Again, that's another talk. If you want to find me, email me. I have many other ideas. Okay, so those are the basic 5 steps. Okay, number 1, clearing stuck and stagnant energy. Number 2, cleaning, organizing, and decluttering your life. Number 3, raising your feminine frequency. Number 4, using that process that I just mentioned to align with a new energy. And number 5, making it all stick, pulling it all together through the use of routines, adding on calendars. And by the way, Google Calendar, that's the one. Use Google Calendar because it integrates with everything, and using a schedule. These are some things to remember as you are employing these 5 steps to create a comeback in your life. I promise, look, I'm telling you, I don't know if these seem simple to you. I don't know if you've heard of these things before, but I've practiced these 5 steps and they work every time. Like I've never had a time they do not work. They work. They move your life powerfully. And some things to remember. Inches make the mile. If you try to do all that stuff at one time, especially as a mom, it may be too much. Success starts with small actions. You don't have to worry about doing everything at once. What you can stick with is what you're going to create. So start small and build on top of that. I always say start with the nightly recording and start with the morning Pinterest review and build on top of that. So inches make the mile. Subconscious patterns and energy is changed by repetition and consistency. I talked to you guys about that. Especially as a mom, these are things that are important too. The day begins the night before. So if you're trying to accomplish something on Friday, Thursday at 8 p.m. is where that success begins or ends. Okay. The week begins on Saturday. Like I have a weekend routine. You're probably going to have a Saturday morning routine. You're going to have a Sunday night routine. The week begins, if you want to have a successful week, it begins on Saturday. Okay. Okay. There's more stuff, but again, I am not going to hold you all guys up. All right. So what's the next step? Like I said, if you practice these simple 5 steps and you're consistent, you will watch your life 180. Those fabulous 180s. But what is the next step? The next step is get into tribe. A lot of, these wonderful, amazing speakers we've had all week, they all talked about getting into community, not going alone. We're not meant to go alone. The next step is to get into a tribe, get into a community, or get inside of a container. There are so many wonderful options that have been presented to you throughout this week. If you're curious about any of them, go to the replay page. They'll talk about what they have to offer. But me and Melina, if you like our vibe, we also have something to offer you as well. And it's called Bloom. Bloom is our 90-day course where we are going to show you how to start to bloom into the next level goddess self in 90 days or less. Okay, so a little bit about Bloom. Like I said, it's a 90-day container. We're going to be doing it in a group. Fun thing, if you've gone through a lot of group programs, like I know when I started, I was like, no, I want one-on-one. I don't want a group. And I remember something was told me that was so profound. It was like, she was like, Falayan, you think you'll do better one-on-one, but I promise you, you learn more in a group. And because you get to listen to other women's experiences and we all share some, things in common, I learned more in a group than I did one-on-one. So this is a group container, 90 days. We're going to meet twice a week. We are going to work on your heart's desire. We're going to ask every one of you ladies, what is your heart's desire? And we're going to start to help you move towards that. And like I always say, I'm about speed. I'm about getting you there the fastest. Like you don't have to do a container. You don't have to work with us or anybody. But if you want to get where you're trying to go faster and in a more pleasant way, we can offer you speed. In Bloom, over the 90 days, we're going to cover 4 pillars. Life and lifestyle, which begins with stopping. Remember, if you guys remember the beginning of my presentation, I said we start with stopping, okay? Creating space, saying no, creating some boundaries, creating sanctuary where we can actually start to live our own lives. We start there. So we're going to talk about life and lifestyle. A lot of us moms over 40, women over 40, we're suffering or on the edge of starting to suffer burnout, exhaustion. We start to strip away and pillar number 1, what's in the way? What am I tethered to that I don't need to be tethered to anymore? How can I create space? How can I start living in a way that supports my softness, that supports my joy, that supports my ease, which you deserve? Okay. Then we move into mind and mindset, where we're going to work on establishing like a new set of beliefs in your mind. So you're going to, if you do this, come back 5 steps, you're going to start to put some new stuff into your mind. You're going to give yourself a mindset, but you're going to find there's a whole bunch of stuff that maybe you didn't even know you needed to address. I found that in my journey, there's like, I'll be trying to achieve something. Melina, you probably also have this experience, especially like working with Carissa. There's something that I'll be trying to achieve, and finally I will get it that, oh my God, it's this one mental concept that I was missing. I learned how to incorporate it into my my container, and life moves. Okay, so we're going to give you a new mindset that is also around self-acceptance, self-love, and learning how to see and appreciate your own essence and femininity. And then we're going to go into body. We're going to actually talk about the body. The body is important. Our body is the way that our spirit gets to move on the earth, and we neglect that thing a lot. Y'all realize that we neglect our bodies a lot. So we're going to talk about not neglecting our bodies and how we can enjoy this beautiful container that we've been given, such a gift. And also under body, we're going to talk about men and dating, if that's what you're into. And lastly, fourth pillar is beauty. Now, beauty is important. I mentioned to you guys that a lot of people try and change their lives by going outward in when you have to go in to out. So people start with beauty, but we should not ignore it. After you've worked on a new mindset, you have a new energy. It's wonderful to start to address. You can change your looks, y'all. This is the most amazing thing. This was my second comeback. I know I'm rushing a bit. I didn't have time to tell you about like my second comeback, but my second comeback was all about my looks and my aura and my sexiness. I look completely different than I did before because I used these beauty principles that we're going to be teaching in Bloom. So we're going to talk about beauty, personal style, upgrading your look, upgrading your walk, your talk, all that good stuff. Okay. So lastly, before I close out, I have a rule in my life and it's called red hot lover zone. Okay. So that means relationships, he has to be red hot or I'm not interested. I need to be red hot about an opportunity or I'm not interested. I only want friendships that are red hot about me. And in terms of Bloom, in terms of this program that we're offering, if you're a red hot lover, if you're a woman that's come to this summit, you've come to this talk and you're like, I'm loving what I'm hearing. I'm ready to take the next step. I want to get into a container. I want to find my community. I just don't know where to start. And you're red hot. You feel like me and Melina are the ladies for you. You're invited. And you can do that by booking a reinvention breakthrough call with us. Here's a link. Melina's going to put it in the chat. We'll sit down together, talk about what you're looking for, and see if we would be a good fit to work together. It's going to be great.
Yay! You did it in most time. Actually, Feline, can you put it in the chat because I don't have access?
Oh, sure.
All
okay,
right.
I'm gonna stop sharing.
Yes. So, thank you.
I'm so proud of myself, guys.
Yeah.
I did it. But
so,
yeah.
Check out Bloom. We are forging together all our many years of experience, both with clients and personal, to give you the very best of the best tips and tidbits and get you on your way to your comeback. And now we have to say goodbye. It's been such an amazing journey. You've been rocking with us since Tuesday to Sunday, and I hope that you continue to rock with us. Thank you all so much.
Wait, don't go yet. Don't go yet. I gotta find the link.
Okay.
And I want to say goodbye too. So 1 second, ladies. Give me just 1 second.
Thank you all so much for choosing yourself. I know that it takes a lot to break away from your normal everyday life to take time for you. So we just want to cheer you on and really honor you for that. Thank you for choosing yourself. Oh, thank you. Chizzy says, thank you for putting it together. It's
our pleasure.
Yes, it's been such
my goodness.
It has been really a dream and a vision of ours that women, especially in this subset, women over 40, be nurtured and seen in the ways that are kind of rare in this marketplace. So you're all so welcome. Please, please, please keep in touch. You can email me. My information is on every one of those emails. So just email both of us or one of us. You can hit us up on Instagram. All of my socials are at Melina Crawford.
Yeah.
And there you go. So the link to chat with us for a breakthrough call is in the chat, and we'll also add it to the replay. You are so welcome. You are so welcome.
Yes. My pleasure.
I don't want to let them go, but I will.
I know. Well, we don't have to let you go. Basically, ladies, what's going to happen? I will say that we love this so much. I didn't think I was even like it this much. That we're going to have another. We're going to have another one. We even think about having a retreat, so we don't have to let each other go. There'll be time to do this again, and also review the replays because you can get so much out of them if you missed one, and even if you attended, watching again.
Yeah. So
this has been a pleasure
to get into those replays. I'm telling you, every single speaker came with it. These are life-changing sessions that are waiting for you in the replay if you weren't able to make it live. And we're still here for you. Keep rocking with us. I'm going to say goodnight and sign off. The Lion.
Email us if you need anything. Happy to be of service.
And there you have it. We've reached the end of the Reinvent Your Life After 40 Summit. Everyone, thank you so much, and we will see you soon. Good night.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.